This show is much more than just waxing. It's a movement to empower women to heal and thrive, all while shedding guilt and shame along the way. Have you ever wondered what conversations unfold behind the closed doors of a wax room? Well, wonder no more. We are here to bring those intimate, exciting, and unconventional discussions to the big screen. Each wax strip tells a story, and every story deserves to be heard. So welcome to Wax Room on Air, where we're peeling back more than just wax strips. My name is Choc. I'm your host.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Wax Room on Air. My name is Choc. I'm your host and coochie connoisseur. Guys, I am so happy to have y'all before me today. I do have a question, and I try not to cuss in the first 10 minutes so that YouTube won't flag me, because Spotify and Apple, they don't be tripping like that. But YouTube, y'all, they be on one. And I don't understand why they be on one, because I already marked the videos to like adult content only. But anyways, I want to start this episode off with a question, like, and you know what, my editor's just gonna have to beep, 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 beep. Y'all gonna have to do that, whatever the fuck that's called. I don't know what the fuck that's called. Censoring, is that what it's called? Do that, okay? Because I have a very important question to ask my audience today. Has a bitch ever had y'all so fucked up that you wanted to knock all 32 teeth out her mouth, down her motherfucking throat, to where she be in the hospital shitting them out? And whatever the equivalent to a catheter for your ass is? I'm telling y'all, I don't know what's in the water. I've been off of Facebook. Y'all know Facebook is my guilty pleasure. I've been off of Facebook. Like, I don't know what got these hoes in a frenzy, but these bitches is in a frenzy. And today, we're going to talk about it. What's that song? Smile in your face. Y'all know I'm old. I'm a mixed hoe. I'm old and I'm young. Period, poom. Smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers. However that song go. Yeah, that's what they. So anyways, let's get into this pre-cleanse. My name is Choc. I am your waxer today. If you don't know me, then that means you're new here, and I just thank you for giving me a chance. I hope I caught your attention in the first 15 seconds. I'm kind of good at that. I'm a little bit theatrical. I'm a waxer, guys. I'm a waxer. Hold on, let me talk to y'all for a little bit. I'm a waxer. I'm a rapper. I'm a podcaster. I'm now realizing and accepting the fact that I am a visionary, because like this was a vision that God gave me. This podcast studio, these pussy boxes, a vision that God gave me. Like my company is not even called the Choc Factory anymore. Now, I do have that shit incorporated, so bitch, don't think that you're coming to steal my intellectual property. But although this is no longer our logo and this is no longer our brand, because we've since evolved, like these are all visions that God has given me and that God allowed me to be able to bring into fruition. So I have really taken on the fact that I'm a visionary, baby. I'm Raven. Did y'all like that little stare? Like, oh no, hold on, let me redo it, because she be looking off into space. It's like, yeah, bitch, I'm a visionary. Like Raven, I be having visions. Screaming. I am a boy mom. First and foremost, to Kaden and Amari, my beautiful baby boys that I love so much. And then to all those bitches who wish that they could be me, wish that we were still friends, who be studying me, because you bitches is my sons. So I'm a boy mom through and through. What else? Y'all let me know, like, for y'all that's listening and that know me, like you got to be a real OG. You really got to know me. Put some shit in the comments. Like, do my pre-cleanse for me. Put something in the comments and let these people know who I am, what I do, what comes to mind. Because honestly, it don't matter how I see myself when it comes to stuff like this that's outward facing. It matters how y'all see me. So let's hear from the people, y'all. Do my pre-cleanse for me. I might do a little competition. Might send something to your Cash App or Zelle for whoever got the best answer. Y'all do the pre-cleanse in the comments, okay? Plus, I be needing y'all to interact more. Y'all don't be interacting enough. Y'all just be having me in here talk to myself. Well, technically, I don't be by myself, because Spider is back there in the little engineer room, and Michael is here today too. So it's two people in here. So I'm not talking to myself like y'all be thinking I be talking to myself. I ain't that great. Actually, I probably am, bitch, because even if they was not here, I would be talking to myself. But it just made me feel a little better to know that other people can hear me. So I'm not talking to myself. And you know what? That's a perfect segue into our temp check. So let's do a mental health check-in. How are you doing today, Choc? Is the wax hot? Is it cold? What is it? I'm heated. You know what I'm saying? I'm heated for so many different reasons, on so many different levels and so many different facets, because I'm a hot girl. It's summertime. We back outside. Shout out to Megan. It's a real motherfucking hot girl shit. But I'm also heated because you just got me fucked up. Y'all really do. I be trying to like understand if it's me or if it's y'all. And I've literally come to the conclusion that it's you bitches. It can't be me. Because if we being honest, like these friendships that I just recently ended in the last year, like seriously, like so many people got snipped in the last year. But for the last 4 years since 2022, I've been cutting bitches loose. I've been getting them the fuck out of here, okay? Been cutting them off like I'm a seamstress in this motherfucker. Seamstress, whatever the fuck it's called. I've been cutting. I've been getting rid of them. And the reason why I know that I'm not the problem is because these are friendships that was like 10 years old, 15 years plus. Like, so bitch, ain't no way that you was my friend that long and I was the problem. And at the end of the day, I just know who I am at my core. I am a girl's girl. I am genuine. I am a girl's girl. I am genuine. I got a heart bigger than Texas. I was gonna say my ass, but everything bigger than my ass because I ain't got none. Until these drawers come off. I don't know. It's just something about when these drawers come off and I'm like, the back shots, yeah. I be having a little booty. It be jiggling. I be feeling it jiggle. That was so off topic. But anyways, back to the temp check. For real, like I'm heated. And I'm literally disappointed in you. Bitches. Like, y'all so whack. Y'all lame. And I could just leave it at there. Like, we ain't got to have a positive reason. That's what the temp check is for. It's like, how are you feeling today? And that's really how I'm feeling. You bitches got me mad. You bitches is annoying. Like, y'all average. You bitches is annoying. I cannot talk today. You bitches are annoying and y'all are aggravating. And I wish y'all found y'all something safe to do. Like, playing traffic. That would literally be safer than playing with me. Let's get into the episode. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? My name is Choc, and I'll be your waxer today. This show is for naked conversations. So I will need you to get undressed. I ask that you remove all masks, all armor, and leave any facades that you might have at that door over there. With that being said, I do have a question to ask you. Are you naked? I'm a little bit naked in this episode. I'm naked. Y'all think I'm naked? Cleavage showing. What Megan say? Stomach out, titties out, ass out. Yeah, what about it? Do the bitch talking shit look this good? Nah, I highly doubt it. Anyways, I'm naked. Let's move on to the next topic. Today's bikini strip is, what's one skill you've been wanting to learn? Y'all, off the top of my head, it is pole dancing. Now, I shared this on social media a couple months ago. I had this like era that I went through where I wanted to be a pole dancer so bad. Like, and it's hard. It is so much harder than it looks. I actually went, like I was going to my own solo little classes, and then I went to a pole dancing party. Shout out to you, Joe. I love you, girl. Y'all know I love Joe down, baby. I love her. Like, she is the type of friend that you weird ass bitches should probably aspire to be. How long, Joe? I met Joe in 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Oh my gosh. We 8 years in, mama. We almost a decade. Same for Carly, because I met Carly and Joe at the same place. If you just had to be there during the fucking Gym Pack era. During my Gym Pack era, yes, I worked at Gym Pack. You would literally just have to be there. So really, shout out to my babes. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Carly. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for always showing up for me. Thank y'all for having space and compassion and grace for me when I have not been as good as a friend as I probably should have been or could have been. And I really just love you ladies from the bottom of my heart until death do us motherfucking part, which even in the afterlife, I would choose you guys as friends all over again. Like I would choose y'all in this life and every life to be my friends. I love y'all. But what I was saying about Joe is I actually don't know what I was saying about Joe. What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? What was I telling y'all about Joe? Pole dancing. Thank you. Wait, Spider, can you come on the camera? Can you come on the mic? They think I be lying about you. He actually exists.
I do exist.
Tell me when you back on the mic so I can like run it. You back on the mic?
Yep.
Okay, screaming. What you say, Spider?
Pole dancing.
Period. I was talking about pole dancing. Y'all, I love me some Spider. I know y'all love Spider too. And Spider actually really does exist. But yeah, a matter of fact, oh my God, y'all, let me have a moment real quick and we're going to get back on track. Spider, you know Joe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, duh. I didn't know if you remember. And I don't know when the last time that she been up here. But y'all, Joe is literally the reason why this fucking podcast exists, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Number one, before I ever even knew what a podcast was, she invited me to come like do this show or like be a part of this thing that she was doing. And I say thing because back then I didn't know what it was. It was back when I was working at 4455 LBJ Freeway, the worst motherfucking mistake of my life, bro. I was working at that insurance company. And Joe had hit me up and she was like, hey, do you want to come like be on this panel or whatever? I'm doing whatever she said she was doing. And I was like, of course, I didn't care what it was. Like I was going to show up for her. And so it ended up being held here in this very studio, not on this set, but at the table set. Y'all have never seen the table set, but, it was at the table set. And we basically just had like this round table discussion. And it did not occur to me, bro. It never occurred to me until probably after I launched Wax Room on Air that was a podcast. And she might have even said it like, can you come on my podcast? But shit don't be registering with me. So anyways, I said all that to give Joe her credit and to give Joe her flowers, because if it weren't for her, like I really do not believe that this podcast would exist. God put that girl in my life for this very reason. So number one, she invited me on my very first podcast that I ever did back in 2019 before I ever even knew what a podcast was. And then she had her own podcast that she she relaunched it after COVID, and she had me come in here and we did a episode where we was on the couch, and I just had like this epiphany. I literally after that, like months after that episode that me and Joe recorded, I had an epiphany, and I was like, something about this just felt divine. This room, this setup, it felt divine, and it felt like it was a part of my story. And years later, about 4 or 5 years later, Wax Room on Air was born, to spare y'all the details. So anyways, I just said that to give my baby girl her flowers because I love her and I thank her so much for being such a pivotal moment in all of my journeys and all the things that I've ever done. I'm going to end with this. Joe was the first vagina that I ever waxed. Ever. She had texted me one day and was like, hey, you graduated. I'm finna wax you. And I was like, bitch, no, you not. I'm not. You not finna come get waxed? No, she was like, hey, you graduated. I'm finna come get waxed. And I was like, bitch, no, you not? I was scared, y'all. I was like, I don't even got the stuff. And so she was like, go buy the stuff. But I'm on my way. And she came to my house and she got waxed. And I've been a motherfucking Brazilian waxing mogul ever since. And get you some friends like Joe and Carly. I love you bitches down. Now let's get into this episode because all I do is fucking get off task. Oh, fuck. Spider reminded. No, Spider. Pole dancing. Just kidding. So let me tell y'all. So Joe had hosted this. Joe invited me to this pole dancing party. And y'all, oh my goodness, that was like when I really fell in love with it all over again. And I'm like, I want to do this. And I still never did anything with it. Because like I told y'all in that post, my bitch ass baby daddy took the pictures of me pole dancing. And I'm literally, y'all can go look it up right now. I think my Instagram name is called The Chocolate Politician or something like that, or The Politician or something like that. Because as you know, like I'm into politics, I'm into debate, and I loved poll at the time. I was fascinated with it. So you put it together, you get politician, right? I just thought I was so creative. Like literally, go look up that page. It was supposed to be something that was like a skill that I honed and I learned and I perfected, and I still ain't did shit with it. But truly, like that is a skill that I am determined to learn. I'm gonna learn how to poll. And back to my bitch ass baby daddy. That motherfucker had took pictures from that Instagram and videos from that Instagram. He had them printed out, and he took them to court and told the judge that I was a stripper. He told that lady I was a stripper, y'all. My heart sank through my booty hole, bro. Like, no way. They finna think in this courthouse that I'm a stripper. What's crazy is I did have a little bit of dancing experience. I'm not gonna tell y'all when, where, why, how. It was at Dallas Cabaret South. So, and Pandora's. So you know why I'm not still doing it to this day. That shit was ghetto, and I'm just not that ghetto. I'm a little ratchet, a little ghetto. I'm not that ghetto. But anyway, so yeah, he told them people I was a stripper, and I was not a stripper. And the lady, the judge, shout out to her, Judge Danielle Diaz. I don't know. She was, at that time, she was over the 330th court in Dallas County, a black woman. And she looked at the pictures and she told him and his attorney, she was like, these pictures are not from a stripper. These are a pole dancing class. Like, you can look at them and tell that they're a pole dancing class. And then she went on to share the story of invited to one of her girlfriend's bachelorette party, and they did pole dancing. It's a class. And then she was like, furthermore, like, even if she was a stripper, is she taking the baby to work with her? Is she putting the child's life in danger? What she does with her life, how she earns her money, has nothing to do with this case unless she's putting the child's life in danger. And really, that's some food for thought, and maybe even some confidence for some of you ladies who might be going through a custody battle. She wasn't even worried. Like, she dismissed those pictures quick, fast, and in a hurry. But anyways, y'all know I know how to get off on a tangent and go down a rabbit hole. So to answer the question, pole dancing is a skill that I am determined to learn and determined to perfect. All right. Now it's time for you to butterfly for me, Choc. Open them legs, pretty girl. Oh, y'all, I got a butterfly on my toe. Let me see if I can show y'all without putting my cat on the fucking camera. Can y'all see my toes? Can y'all see? I'm a little bit flexible, baby. They can go behind my head. They literally, I would, but then I'd be. What you say, Spider? Oh, I thought you said some screaming. Okay, anyways, I got a butterfly on my toe. I probably do got ADHD for real, but anyways. Okay, it's time to butterfly for me, Choc. Have you ever had to choose yourself over a friendship? And I want my listeners to answer that question too. Think back, girl. Think back, brother. Think back to a time that you've had to choose yourself over a friendship. And maybe it was just recently. Have you guys ever had to choose yourself over somebody that you love dearly, over a friendship that you had cultivated and built a bond that you had? The answer for me, to my ladies who continuously go to work and push through, you're crying in the break room, or you're running to the car, you're hiding in the bathroom, you hate your boss, your messy coworkers, you no longer have to push through burnout anymore. Sometimes the most productive thing that you can do is rest. The exit strategy helps you get approved for short-term disability so you can finally take the time you need to rest, to heal, and to pause and go back to work stronger, or not go back at all. It's your call. Make sure you visit waxfromonair.com/the-exit-strategy to start your short-term disability leave today so you can finally clock out on burnout. The answer for me is yes, I have had to choose myself over a friendship. And what's crazy is that's not something that I really did into my late 20s. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic. But I will tell y'all, like, it wasn't until my last situation, like my breakup, I be trying to, like, decide if I'm going. Anyways, when I broke up with the tall nigga with the beard, if y'all know, like, if y'all knew me then in that era, y'all know that was a really tough time for me, mentally and emotionally. And I was in a very dark place. I was also postpartum. I had a new baby. So with the weight of all of that shit on my head, on my chest, on my shoulders, there was no room for error. If a bitch got a little bit out of line, she had to get the fuck. And that is the time that I lost the most friendships that I've ever had. I was cutting bitches off left and right. Because, for one, if my logic was like, I literally lost the most important thing at the time, you know, with the exception of my children and God, to me. Like, I lost the love of my life. And if I could commit to getting myself together and strengthening who I am as a woman without the love of my motherfucking life, the cream to my crop, what do they call that? The apple of my fucking eye? If I can get the fuck on from that nigga, then I can get the fuck on from bitches. And so really, like, it was a thin line. Bitches was skating on thin ice around that time. And that's literally when I lost the most of my friendships. I kind of want to go into detail, but I know, like, I'm running short on time. So, like, for the sake of time, I'll tell y'all. There was one friend who, if you know me, like, back during that time, y'all, I was doing everything. We said a lot on this podcast. Say it with me if you know it. The 3 things that we was doing: cooking, cleaning, and sucking dick, baby. I was cooking and cleaning and sucking dick in that era. I was not playing about neither one. However you needed me to be, however I needed to show up, baby, I was showing up and I was proud of it. So I really didn't want to separate from that version of myself that was cooking, cleaning, and sucking dick, which, let me not get on a tangent. Let me stay focused. So there were times where, like, my girls, they would FaceTime me, like my clients and some of my good friends. 2 women that come in to mind is Aisha and Shayla, right? So there were times where me and him we was going through our shit. We hadn't broke up yet, though. I laugh. You would say why I laugh, y'all? Because when we was getting ready to break up, like, he had me so fucked up one day and he was in the room. I'm fucking crazy, bro. He had me fucked up, and this is about the time where I decided, like, okay, bro, I'm done with this nigga. And before I leave, y'all know I'm extra. I always got to have a grand entrance, grand exit. So this was my grand exit. Baby, when I tell y'all it wasn't even a playlist, because as I was in there cleaning, washing the dishes, might I remind y'all, cooking, cleaning, sucking dick, I was cleaning at this point. It wasn't even a playlist. Like, as the songs would come to me, I would, like, literally go to Apple Music and I would, like, play next, okay? So, like, I'm in my feelings, I'm emotional, I'm done with this nigga, and, like, I just can't take it no more. So the bedroom door open, and I'm in here washing dishes, and I'm, like, playing all of these songs. It was Mary J. Blige, Not Gonna Cry. It was Keisha Cole, I Should Have Cheated. It was Tamia, Stranger in This House. It was Sunshine Anderson. What's that song? Heard It All Before. Like, it was Jaheim, Put That Woman First. All the breakup songs, bitch. All the breakup songs. All the breakup songs was on the playlist. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm just typing them hoes in. I kid y'all not, bro. Right here on Stack of 10 Bibles. He came in the kitchen and he paused the music and he hugged me from behind and he, like, kissed me on the cheek and he was like, he asked me a question. He was like, kind of like, are you okay? And he had asked if he had fucked up, which, nigga, you know you fucked up by this time. And I was acting stupid. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And he was like, I'm listening to the songs that you playing. He was like, are these songs for me? Like, is there something that I could do differently? He was good at asking that question. Is it something that I could do to be a better man? Is it something that I could do to be a better partner for you? And he would even ask the kids that, is there something I could do to be a better father? But at this point, it was really nothing that he could fucking do. But listen to the song, nigga. Grab a mic, let's do karaoke. because I should have cheated. 11 years, motherfucker. How much? It was 5 years or 4 years at that time. I done sacrificed. All this goddamn time I done wasted on you. 11 years of sacrifice. I should have left your ass 1,000 times. Wasted. Yeah, nigga. You can sing along at this point. Anyways, so I don't even know where I was going with that. But, oh, let me tell y'all. Okay, so I had went on this little, like, I was done with him, this spree. This shit is so funny. You so messy, bitch. I had went through like this little gray area. No pun intended. Fucking screaming. For real though, no pun intended. I had went through this gray area where I didn't know if I wanted to end the relationship or if I literally wanted to like Kanye West like ride through the wire, right? And so there were two of my homegirls and two distinct conversations I remember having. They were checking on me because I had just had the baby or whatever. And they called, they FaceTimed me. Completely different days, completely different times. Aisha and Shayla. And they was just like, how you doing? And I'm gonna stick on the conversation with Aisha for a little bit. I was like, I don't know how I'm doing, Aisha. I was cooking hamburgers. I was like, girl, I don't know how I'm doing. I was like, I don't think this gonna work. Like, I think we done. And she was like, bitch, she laughed it off. And I was like, no, for real, I think we done. I think this is over with. And she was like, you cooking. Literally was in there cooking hamburgers on our little, whatever. I think, what is the George Foreman grill? I don't fucking know. It wasn't the George Foreman grill. It might have been the George Foreman, whatever the modern day George Foreman was. Look, I was making burgers, bitch. And she was like, you over here cooking a whole meal. Bitch, you can't be done. And I just bust out crying. And so I leave out the kitchen. I go in our bedroom. I close the door and I tell Aisha what's going on. He not here. He not even at the house at this point. Like I told y'all when I was talking to Charlton in episode 3, the nigga was not coming home at night. And so I'm like, girl, like I don't even know if he coming home tonight, Aisha. I'm not playing. I don't even know or whatever. And I literally got the table made. The kids got their plate. I got my plate. I went ahead and made his plate because I didn't know if he was coming home or not. And spoiler alert, he did not come home that night. That fucking hamburger just sat there and got fucking cold and hard like a dead body with rigor mortis sitting in. That nigga didn't come home that night. Was not bullshitting. Me and Aisha stayed on the phone so fucking long that night. And I cried to her. I talked with her. I prayed with her. And like my friends, they was literally like my anchor when I didn't know if we was coming or going. And then another time Shayla called and same thing. It was basically the same conversation. Shayla was checking on me. I was like, look, I don't know if this is going to work. I think we over. And she was like she was my anchor. When I was talking to Shayla, I was in front of Louisiana fried chicken. Hey, listen, let me tell you, if I ain't do nothing else in my last era, bitch, I cooked, I cleaned, I sucked it. Like, niggas was fed around that motherfucker. The house was clean around that motherfucker. And the dick was sucked. It was sucked good. And it was drained. And the tummy was full. Okay? But when I was having the conversation with Shayla, I was getting dinner outside of Louisiana's fried chicken. And famous fried chicken. And same. Me and Shayla talked for about 30 minutes about whether me and him was done or not. Anyways, I said all that to say this. Those are my real friends, and I done lost my point, so hold on. Okay, so anyways, I said that to really set the tone and foundation to let y'all know, like, that was a dark time for me. And my real friends that knew, like, they knew that was a dark time for me. I'll even end with this. My best friend, Tamara, when we had broke up, like, matter of fact, we hadn't even broke up yet. We, again, having a hard time. Tamara literally came. She drove all the way from fucking Seagoville, Dallas, to Frisco, Plano-ish area. And it wasn't Frisco, it was Plano. Was we in Plano? Or Addison? Bitch, I don't fucking remember. It was like Farmers Branch, Plano. It was a far drive. She literally drove with her headset and her laptop, still at work, to come and check on me. She had me like dry my eyes, wipe, stop crying. She took Mari and she went and soothed him, fed him. She went to Chick-fil-A and she got me and Kaden something to eat. And then she had to get back to her side of town so she could pick her son up. And she told me she had bought me a chicken sandwich, bitch, I'll never forget. And she was like, Precious, you got to eat something. The baby sleep. And when you feel up to it, I need you to get up and I need you to eat something. This was during one of the times that nigga was not coming home. And I was like, okay, like I will get up and I will eat something. And I kid y'all the fuck not, that Chick-fil-A sandwich is what stopped me from passing the fuck out. But I said all that to say, like, my friends, they were there for me during that hard time in my life. So on the other side of that, the bitches who were not there for me, or the bitches who played with me, or the bitches who crossed me during that time, they got snipped, because I know you not no real friend of mine, because this is how my real friends are showing up for me. So you literally cannot be a real friend. Now, like 50 minutes later, back to answering the question, was there a time where I had to choose myself over a friendship? Yes, and that was the time. One particular situation that comes to mind is one of my homegirls. I had told her, like, you know, we going through some stuff or whatever. I had confided in her. Oh, I'm trying not to go over on time, but I got to tell y'all this, because this shit pisses me off every time I think about it. So there was a point in time where she wanted to surprise me. She was coming to Texas. She was living in Atlanta at the time. She was coming to Texas. And so she actually reached out. And oops, fuck. Can y'all blurt that nigga name out? Maybe we don't blurt it out. I don't know. Whatever. She reached out to the tall nigga with the beard. And they ended up organizing like this surprise thing over there at the shops at Legacy. So he was like, let's go on a date night or a family night or whatever. We had the boys. And he was like, let's go to the shops at Legacy and grab some food and stuff. So we went and we walk into the food court. And then, like, I'm just looking around the food court, and then I noticed my friend there, and I kind of, like, do a double take. And I'm like, oh, my God. And, like, we hug, and it's me, her. This day is me and the tall nigga with the beard, my two sons, and then her and her man. And we go get a table. We talk. You know, it's like fucking rainbows and sunshine. Well, to fast forward, and this is relevant, that is relevant to the story, so keep that at the front of your mind. Later on, me and him, we started going through some troubled waters, and there was a situation where I had a conversation with her, and then her boyfriend that was there at the shops at Legacy, he had posted something on Facebook, and he tagged her in it. And I was like, oh, dang, I'm not even his friend on Facebook. So I sent him a friend request, okay? And let me tell y'all this. I'm big on Facebook. And besides being big on Facebook, me and this girl, literally, you and your man, me and my man, and my children, like, we all just had, like, this family outing together. So in my head, I'm thinking, like, we family. I'm thinking not even friends, bro. I'm thinking we family. So I sent him the friend request. And I comment on there, like, I tell him, like, she mine, LOL, or something joking like that, or whatever. Well, I get a phone call from her. And she was like, why'd you add my man on Facebook? My best friend don't like the fact that you added my man on Facebook. She think it's shady, especially since you going through the problems that you going through with the tall nigga with the beard. And I'm thinking, like, how does this bitch even know that I'm going through anything with him? Because the only person that I told was you. So that means you running your mouth. If she know anything about me and my relationship and that we having trouble, she got it from you. But I've never liked her quote unquote best friend, because she the type of friend that she don't feel like her friends can have other friends. I'll also add this. The best friend and the boyfriend, they were siblings, I believe. I know. That was her brother. So she really felt entitled to have an opinion about me adding him on Facebook. So when she called me with that shit, she was like, well, my best friend want to be on three-way because she want to talk to you about you adding him on Facebook. No, you're not finna put me on three-way. I don't want to talk to that bitch. I don't have nothing. You know my character. You know who I am as a woman. Do you think I want your nigga? She kept saying no. Okay, so if you don't think I want your nigga, then why are you listening to the propaganda? I have nothing to talk to that bitch about. I got my own relationship, my own family, my own house that I'm literally losing. It's slipping through my fingers. I don't want to lose it. And you over here trying to get me to be on three-way with this bitch who bringing up, like, you know I don't want your nigga. Fuck, I barely even want mine. I don't want mine. Fuck, why would I want yours? I don't even play like that. So that shit offended me to no end. And that was when I started cutting bitches off. Because ain't nobody finna play with me like that. Ain't nobody finna play with me like that. But yeah, so that was a time where I did have to like step up, regardless of the time, regardless of the friendship, regardless of the good times that we had, the laughs that we shared, the memories, regardless of all that shit, I had to put myself first. No, you're not finna put me in this messy ass situation on three-way with your friend who think that I want her brother, aka your nigga, when you should know my heart and you already know what the fuck I'm going through. When I got bitches literally sitting on FaceTime with me for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and bringing me Chick-fil-A sandwiches to help me navigate this breakup. Whole time you accusing me of wanting to be with your man. You actually not my friend. And that was a time that I had to choose myself over a friendship. Let's move on. Hey, now for the lip strip. Today's lip strip is, what's the most hurtful thing that a friend has ever said or done to you? Okay, I just kind of gave y'all a story time about one of the hardest things that I ever went through. Cause that shit hurt me. For real. For one of my friends to think like that I want your nigga, like, no way that you really think that I want your nigga, bro. And I don't like things that like question my character. I don't like somebody that I love, somebody that I've been around for a long time, that I've proven my loyalty to, that I've proven my love, because I'm a people pleaser. No, I'm a retired people pleaser. I used to go above and beyond to show somebody that I loved them, to show somebody that I cared for them, that I was loyal to them, that I was there for them. So with that quality, or really that ain't even a quality, with that shortcoming, the fuck, I don't feel like nobody should ever have to question my generosity or my genuineness or my love or my heart or my purity. And so when you do, like, that shit offends me. That shit really truly do offend me. So that was one of the most hurtful things that a friend has ever done to me. But for the purposes of this question, because we already told that story, let me tell y'all something. And you know what? Let me add this in here, because I ain't get this shit off my chest. Y'all know I hold grudges. Y'all know I like to express myself. That's what the podcast exists for. There was a family member who accused me of fucking her husband. Mind you, her husband raised me. He was like a fucking father to me. And that shit just like, it don't sit well with me. Have I forgiven? Absolutely. And the reason why I bring it up is because I really want to express that shit is a trigger for me. Don't ever think I want your nigga. Don't ever lie on my pussy. I don't know a nigga to this date that has ever lied on my pussy and said that he fucked me when he didn't fuck me. I just don't think that people play with me like that. Like, bitch, like, it's my brand. Pussy is my brand. I'm literally P. Even my name, if you know my government name, like, big P's around this bitch. Like, I'm so P. I take care of my pussy. I value my pussy. I would never share my pussy with a man that has had my friend or my family's. Like, I don't sleep around. I don't sleep around a bitch, to the left of a bitch, to the right of a bitch, behind a bitch. Like, what? So, with that being said, I think niggas know better than to lie on my cat. And if they are lying on my cat, I ain't heard about it. And don't let me find out about it. But it becomes even more hurtful when somebody that I love, that's not even a man, a female, and you lying on my pussy? You done lost your mind. You done lost your mind. So I really just, I don't know. Am I the only person that happened to? Why do bitches think I want they nigga? Why? Me? I don't even really be one of the niggas that I be with. So I don't know. That shit, that's something that bothers me. I'm not gonna lie. And it's something that is very hard for me to get over. But moving on to the most hurtful thing. I really don't think this shit was hurtful, and y'all can judge me. I don't care. But friendship breakups, unfortunately, they really just don't hurt me like that. I only have one friendship breakup that hurt. It went through a period of hurting, and I got over that shit, and I'm actively getting over that shit. We're not going to talk about that on this episode because it's a very sensitive topic, but we are going to get into it because I just had to have that conversation with my son. She is his godmother, and so he had just been asking me like about her and steady bringing up her name, and I could tell that he was beating around the bush, and he wanted to know basically if we were friends or not. And I went ahead and gave him a little bit of the rundown. I still ain't even told him the full story or whatever, because he was asking me why I was braiding his hair, and so I just kind of answered the question because he'd been asking me for a couple months now, actually, since her birthday. Because damn, bro, I'm always getting off topic. She didn't answer the phone when he called her for her birthday. It's a whole situation. But anyways, he been asking me for a couple of months about the situation, and I finally told him last night. And so I'm going to reserve that for a different episode, but we are going to talk about it. But like friendship breakups, like they really don't fucking hurt me. I really don't be giving a fuck. Judge your mama, bitch. Judge your mama. And it ain't because I don't like my friends. It ain't because I don't love my friends. It's because I hold my friends to such a high standard that after you play with me, you out of there. Like you done. Period. So it's actually worse than me not caring about them. It's because I care about them and I love them so much and I expect so much from them that friendship breakups just don't hurt me like that. So I won't call this particular thing hurtful, but I will say it was shocking. I remember one time I was shopping at Sam's Club, and before I even went into Sam's, I had got this screenshot, and it was of my homegirl. She had been my friend since my freshman year. Y'all do the math. At this time, it was like 2023, 2024, and we had been friends since 2009. My freshman year at Horn High School is when I met this girl. And it was a screenshot of her kikiing on Facebook with my baby daddy wife. And again, you got to be an OG. You got to know me from the Facebook days to understand the drama. But like, the bottom line is anybody who is a friend of my baby daddy's wife, bitch, there is no way that you are a friend of mine. And so they sent me the screenshot, and then they called me immediately. And they was like, hey, I know that probably shocked you. And like, I didn't want to like send that to you and be messy and like leave you to your own thoughts. I just kind of wanted to talk to you about it. And it's somebody that I love, somebody that I trust, somebody that is blood related to me, right? So I know it wasn't on no messy shit. They really cared for my mental and my heart. And we talked about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going through enough. Now, this is post-breakup. The breakup had happened at this point, and she got her ass cut off. When I seen that screenshot, I went and removed her off of Facebook, off of Instagram, every page that I ever had, business pages, personal pages, baby, she had to go. For that reason, and also because the whole time that me and the tall nigga with the beard was together, he had kept telling me like, and y'all, I'm sorry, I hate to side with a nigga. Bitch, y'all stop making me side with these niggas. Stop. But he told me the whole time that we was in a relationship, he was like, she is not your friend. That it was her and another girl. Matter of fact, it's funny because that's how Kaden ended up asking me about his godmama. First, he asked me, he was like, are you still friends with that girl with the blue hair? No, we is not friends. I told y'all, bitches got cut off. You gonna have to find you something safe to do. And playing with me is not. So he asked that first. He prefaced his real question with that. And so he was like, well, dang, so are you friends with such and such? But anyways, he would tell me two people wasn't my friends. The girl with the blue hair, and Michelle. Fuck, I don't give a fuck about saying her name. He was like, they are not your friends. And he would show me screenshots and stuff, just little posts and everything, and be like, all right, this your friend. Your friend, he was always being funny, like, your friend said this, but that's your friend. And let me tell y'all, again, I hate having to side with these niggas, but if a nigga tell you that a bitch is not your friend, believe him. Hurry up and believe him, bitch. Believe him right then, that second. He don't even need to show you proof. If a nigga ever open his mouth to tell you that a bitch is not your friend, you can't believe nothing these niggas say. But you better believe that, because the bitch is surely not your motherfucking friend. I digress. So the most shocking thing was like her and this girl Kikin, and this is a long story, and I got to get the fuck up out of here, so I'm not gonna dwell on it too long. But what did it for me is that this girl, the wife, she has done so much shit to me. There was a point in time where she lied and told Mesquite police. And mind you, this is public record, so y'all can go get the 911 call. Y'all can go pull up the phone call transcripts. Y'all can pull up the charge. Y'all can go research this shit for yourself. She told these people that I tried to kidnap her. That me and my sister tried to kidnap her and put her in a trunk, and we tied her up with some headphones. At the time, I was pursuing my criminal justice degree. Do you know how detrimental that is to anybody, but especially somebody that's pursuing a criminal justice degree? Me and my grandmother had to go to Mesquite Police Department, and they put me in an interrogation room, and I sat in that interrogation room for 2 or 3 hours trying to prove my innocence because this girl fucking lied on me, crying. I will never forget. I asked him, I was like, I'm pursuing like a degree in criminal justice. My dad was still in prison at the time. I was like, I'm fighting to bring home innocent people who the system has railroaded. And I asked that man, I looked him dead in his blue eyes, and I said, why would I do something like that? Why would I jeopardize my life? Why would I jeopardize my son's life to kidnap somebody, to put them in the trunk? Why would I do that? That man looked me dead in my eyes back and said, well, there's a lot of people under my feet who have made dumb decisions. There are a lot of people under my feet who ask me that question every day. My grandmother is my witness. I was like, under your feet? Fuck is you talking? Like, I thought he was talking about hell. Or like people that like, you know, that died and went to hell. So I asked him to clarify. This man said, the jail is under my feet. Excuse me, bitch? Oh, so you really think I'm a criminal? And at that point, I just started boo-hoo crying, bro. I broke down, and my grandmother got mad. My grannies don't like to see me cry. If I cry, baby, it's World War 55 in this motherfucker. So my grandmother was like, go get your sergeant right now. She made him go get his sergeant. The sergeant came in. She made them pull the 911 call. They listened to the 911 call, and I kid you not, right hand on a stack of 10 Bibles, they dropped the charges that day. Because on the 911 call, it's me telling them, like, get here. My sister and this girl is having an altercation. I'm a criminal justice student. I don't want to be involved. Literally everything I'm sitting here telling him at the interrogation table, but it's on the 911 call. Thank God. And I'm telling y'all, like, if you ever in a fucked up situation, call 911 because that shit is recorded. Please. Because God, thank you. But like, to this day, I be thinking like that probably was the only thing that saved me, was that I thought to call 911 because I did not want to be involved and I did not want to have my reputation ruined, or whatever the case may be. But anyways, I say all that to say, at the time, Michelle knew this shit. We had a group chat. Bitch, you know all the shit that this girl done did to me. All the weird shit she has done to me. All the weird shit she has done to my family. There is no way that you're my friend and her friend. So I won't say that was hurtful to see, but it was shocking. And I was just like, bet. Like, I treat, what Megan say? I treat bitches accordingly. I treat you bitches accordingly. So I silently removed her from every fucking profile that she was a friend on or a follower on. Hasta la vista, bitch. What do that mean? I don't even know what that means. I'm going to have to Google what that means and probably keep it in. And if that don't fit the topic, then vamoose, bitch. You disappeared, ho. I get rid of bitches real quick. Fuck out of here. Let's go ahead and close this episode out because I'm getting a little chatty. All right, it's time for Don't Let Justin Little Boy Get You Fucked Up. This meme says, be careful where you get your info about me. They used to love me too. But you know what? I'm not even going to elaborate too much. Be careful. If you listening to a bitch that hate me or a nigga that hate me, just know that deep down inside, they love me at one point. And baby, they still on Choc row. Because at any point in time, if you've ever been entered in Choc row, you still on Choc row. This is for life, baby. Whether you love me or you hate me, welcome to Choc row. It's a life sentence, bitch. Now, let's move on to my personal favorite segment. Let me see it. This is the Grown and Sexy, so make sure that y'all get y'all kids out the room or y'all put in y'all AirPods because we finna have some real talk. This meme says, I ain't clearing up no rumors unless they say my head trash. Cause who? Excuse me. Matter of fact, I shared it. I ended up sharing it. I said, I make curls. I need to stop drinking. I said, I make toes curl. The fuck? For real, I had said this on one of the previous episodes. Like, you can't control what people say about you. You can't control the narrative. Don't even try to spin it back into your favor. Let people think whatever the fuck they want to think. And I really do live by that rule unless a bitch say my head trash. Because why is you lying? Don't you ever, and your raggedy ass Section 8 living food stamp having no edges, dick sucking for free ass life, go tell somebody that I can't suck dick. When I sit up here and tell y'all on this podcast almost every episode that there was an era in my life where I cooked, cleaned, and sucked dick, and I was good at it. I was Tony the Tiger great at that shit. Bitch, don't lie on me. Like, I suck dick so good. I literally do. I make toes curl. And on top of making toes curl, I can literally nut off a given head. Nigga ain't gotta do nothing. Put a dick down my throat. That's how into it I be. That's how into it I be. And the last thing, I'm gonna give y'all a little tip. Y'all gonna leave here with a little tippy tip today. I ain't sucking no dick, so maybe y'all can go put the tip in use. Everything is lubrication. So stop wiping your tears. Stop wiping your snot. When you start crying and snotting and blowing bubbles and shit, bitch, embrace that. Embrace that. Niggas love the theatrics. They love it. They love it. Okay? It's so strong that it'll literally take away a nigga post-nut clarity. Nigga nut and still have no clarity. Still be blind as 3 mice. If you just use all of them as lubrication. Your tears, your snot, your spit. And if you want to take it a step further, baby, go down there. If you like me and you really enjoy doing it, take your 2 fingers, get you some lubrication from baby girl, put it on there, and you suck that off too. So, bitch, don't ever... So you can say anything you want about me, but bitch, please don't tell nobody that I can't suck dick, because I do it right. And I do it well. Thank ya. All right. Damn, I want to do this segment, but we're going to have to skip it. Spider, how much time do I have? Okay. Okay, like 55 minutes over? Okay. All right, so let's get into our next segment. I'm so excited to introduce this next segment because it's a new segment to the show. And also it marks a very like pivotal moment in my spiritual journey for me. There was a point in time where I started having these dreams in life, and I would realize that they would happen in real life. And I thought I was tripping. For years, I thought I was tripping. And I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't fully accepted the gift even today. But there was a point in time where it became undeniable that this actually was a gift, okay? And so I'm like, God is speaking to me through these dreams. If nothing else, God is literally speaking to me through these dreams. So I started to write my dreams down. I created what I call a dream log or a dream diary. And I would try to interpret these dreams and basically understand what God was telling me. And that's where we get this new segment from that we're adding to the show today. This segment is called Pillow Talk. So I'm going to read y'all a dream that I had, and I'm going to tell y'all my interpretation of it. If you had a dream or any of these symbols and can relate, make sure that you put it in the comments. Talk to me, and please tell me I ain't crazy. So I'm going to give y'all the summary, and then we're going to get into the interpretation. And honestly, if you are like a professional or an expert at this, please email me, waxroomonair@gmail.com, or you can hit me on my DMs, Wax Room on Air, on TikTok, on Instagram, everywhere across the board is Wax Room on Air. Because I really would love to have a conversation with you on camera. I would love to do an interview because I really do want to dive deeper into these dreams and the spiritual meaning behind them and just really learning how to accept them as a gift. But anyways, let's go ahead. You know what? I'm going to add one more thing. So what made me accept like, okay, this is a gift is that I had a dream. And like I told y'all, they started coming true in real life. And so one of the times that it happened to me was I was waxing a brand new client and I could not deny it. And I literally just stopped mid-wax and I apologized to the girl. I was like, I am so sorry. But I literally had a dream about this moment. And I went to my notepad and I showed her that I was not lying. Like 3 days prior, I had this dream. She had the outfit on and everything. And I was like it's scaring me. At that point, it was terrifying to me. And she was like, don't be scared. And she taught me to embrace it. And then she told me this story of where like she was working. I forget where she was working at. I want to say she was working at a pizza place or like a beauty supply or something. But wherever she was working, she was behind the counter. And a lady came in, and a lady basically was getting messages from her grandmother who had passed. And you're supposed to, I guess, ask people permission before you read them or you tell them like what's on your heart and mind. And so the lady didn't really ask permission. She just like told the girl, like, you know, your grandmother, I think it was yellow. I'm sorry if I this was a couple years ago, so I'm sorry if I got the details wrong. But she was like, your favorite color is yellow, or your grandmother's favorite color is yellow, or something like that. And that's what caused the girl to like listen. Because she was like, oh, this lady not crazy. She not making this up. Like, my grandmother is really trying to tell me something. And she ended up listening to the lady. And so long story short, she was telling me, like, when you have these supernatural gifts, you have to embrace them. And the reason why I wanted to share that story with y'all is because I want y'all to know, like, how full circle life be and how aligned life be. Because for me to, like, be mentally struggling with accepting the gift of having dreams, and then a client in my wax room telling me like, no, pursue that. No, understand what it means. And then for me to be telling that story and adding a segment to my waxing podcast, Wax Room on Air, like, God know what he be doing. God know he be threading stuff. We might not always see the thread and where it's going, but he be doing it. So anyways, let me get into the dream summary. I was at some type of event where my presence seemed important. I don't know if I was the keynote speaker or had an official role, but people knew who I was, and being there mattered. At one point, I went into the bathroom because I was on my cycle and needed to change my tampon. While I was in the stall, a girl kept trying to force her way in. I kept telling her that I was in there, but she insisted the stall wasn't locked and continued pushing against the door. Eventually, I got the stall secured and handled what I needed to handle. When I came out, the women in the bathroom seemed drawn to me. They watched me, listened to me, and they wanted to be a part of the conversation. Later, I was sitting in the stands when a girl walked by needing money. I felt bad because I didn't have much to give. I reached into my backpack and pulled out what I thought was a quarter. I gave it to her, and she became extremely happy. After she walked away, I looked closer and realized it wasn't a quarter at all. It was a Her Business Breakthrough coin worth $10. What I thought was only 25 cents ended up being exactly what she needed. Now, let me clear that up for people who do not know. Her Business Breakthrough was one of my little projects that I started. And basically at this convention, we were like a sponsor or something. And so she wanted to get food. She wanted to get drinks. She didn't have no money. So I'm thinking like, well, girl, I ain't got no cash on me, but I got a quarter. So I gave her the quarter, and it ended up not being a quarter. It ended up being worth $10. And it was like a token that she could use at the event to get what she needed plus more. So that's to clear that up. But anyways, let's talk about the key symbols in this dream. So they say that a large event means visibility, influence, purpose, and being seen. So if you're ever having a dream and you're at a big event, it could be telling you that those things are starting to brew in your life: visibility, influence, and purpose. My presence being important. So if you're dreaming about like, I'm the person, I'm this big person at this event, it is representing significance, leadership, and impact without needing a title. So like, you ain't even got to have a title, but just know that you got impact, like in this world or in whatever project that you're doing, there's some impact associated with it. Being on your menstrual cycle represents womanhood, transition, creation, feminine power, a natural season of renewal, because as we know, our menstrual cycle is our body getting rid of blood. Like even that brown phase, when you have that brown phase in your menstrual cycle, it's your body getting rid of old blood. So like it's your body renewing and getting ready for something new. So if you are dreaming that you are on your cycle or you're dreaming about periods, it probably represents a season of renewal. A bathroom stall that represents privacy, personal growth, a sacred space, processing something internally. The girl trying to enter the stall, for me, for my dream specifically, represented boundary violations, unwanted access, people feeling entitled to parts of me that they don't even belong in. And I want to stop there for a brief second because this episode is titled Frienemies. And that's why I chose this dream in particular to talk about, because how that girl was trying to barge in that stall while I was trying to change my tampon. How I felt in that dream is how I felt in real life. There were times, y'all seen me like literally break down on episode 10, bro. There were times where I've tried to force myself to sit at tables and fit in, and I felt so embarrassed. I felt unwelcome. I felt like the oddball out. But regardless, I wanted to be accepted. And so, like, that is really monumental for me in that dream, is that I closed the door and I locked it. I set that boundary. No, bitch, you don't get to have access to me. You don't get to ask me questions. You don't even get to apologize to me. Apologize to God, because it ain't about me. It ain't about whether I forgive you or not. It's about, do you forgive yourself and do God forgive you? Don't even come apologizing to me. Like, cut the access off. Everybody do not deserve access to you. Everybody do not get to barge into the bathroom stall while you're changing your tampon. Some things are sacred and they are meant to be protected. Moving on. Women gathering around me. Remember I told you I walked at the stall, a lot of women were around me. That be happening in my dreams, but that also happened in real life too. Like when I'm at a party, or I always go out solo. So like when I'm out solo at a club or a restaurant or whatever, like women just gravitate towards me, especially in the bathroom. And for the purposes of like marketing this episode, because Michael had just talked to me. Michael is the owner, and he also has a podcast called MZ Now. Make sure y'all check it out. But Michael was just telling me, like, speaking to me about marketing. And so when I get ready to market this episode, I might include some of these clips where I'm literally in the bathroom having a drunk girls in the bathroom moment. Because there are so many times in my life where I have been like, matter of fact, bro, I'm going to go find it. I was wearing this dress and it was a white girl in the bathroom and she was like complimenting me and like loving on me. And the only reason why I went out that night was because my dog Scoop, I love Scoop. I love Scoop so much. Shout out to you. Scoop had invited me out to this event, and then he went home because he boring and he lame. And I ended up going out that night. And I met this drunk girl in the bathroom, and we had a drunk girls in the bathroom moment, and I was wearing this dress. But anyway. We had a drunk girls in the bathroom moment, and I was wearing this dress. But anyways, I digress. But there are a lot of times where women be surrounding me, and it happens in my dreams, and it happens in real life. And okay, so when women gather around you, that can represent influence among women, community, leadership, being watched, even when you are not trying to be. The backpack represented what I carry, my gifts, my experiences, knowledge, and resources. The girl needing help represented people assigned to my path who needed something I already possessed. The coin represented value, purpose, provision, and impact. And the fact that I thought it was a quarter and it ended up being more represented hidden value, abundance, realizing that my gifts are way more than I give them credit for. So for me, this dream felt like God was showing me like, okay, you have influence. Because I'd be quick to say, like, I'm not an influencer. I'm not famous. I'm none of that. I'm just Choc. But it really did represent God showing me that I have more influence, value, and responsibility than I actually give credit for or that I realize. It showed me that the bathroom scene was about boundaries. I was in a private space handling something personal, and somebody kept trying to gain access to a place they did not belong or even deserve. That reminded me that not everyone is entitled to every part of my life, my healing, or my journey. The women being drawn to me felt significant because I was not seeking attention. I was simply being myself and people were paying attention. That speaks to influence that comes naturally rather than influence that is being forced. But the biggest message was the coin. I thought I only had a quarter to offer. In reality, I was carrying something worth much more. The girl who received it viewed it as life-changing. even though I almost overlooked the value myself. The dream reminded me that sometimes we underestimate what God has placed inside of us, the knowledge, the gifts, experiences, and resources that we dismiss as small may be the very thing that someone else is literally praying for. That's it for our Pillow Talk segment. Let's move on to Trauma Dump. This is not titled, so I guess you all can give it a title. Years ago, one of my closest friends introduced me to a dude she thought that I would hit it off with. She encouraged us to be together. She pushed me to give him a chance and was one of the biggest supporters of the relationship in the beginning. Well, one thing led to another, and we've now been together for almost a decade. Girl, shout out to you. Shout out to longevity. Tell me the secret. What is the secret? What's the secret, girl? Email me back and tell me what's the secret. Because a decade is a long time to be with somebody. But anyways, she said we've been together almost a decade. We've built a life together, weathered storms together, and we created something that is so real. The problem is that years ago, during an argument, she said something that has completely changed the way that I saw her. She told me that if she had wanted my man, she could have him. That bitch is not your friend. Bro, I wish I wasn't trying to get up out of here. Oh, I'm going to tell y'all a story. Remind me, Spider, if you're listening, please remind me to tell y'all the story in Townie Small. I promise it's going to be quick. But that bitch is not your friend, and I hope you took that as a red flag. She told me that if she wanted my man, she could have him. I remember being shocked because it was someone who had helped bring us together in the first place. It made me question whether she was happy for me all along or if there was like some type of competition or secret jealousy or resentment going on. That conversation was the beginning of the end of our friendship. Thank God. She didn't say thank God. I said thank God. I'm glad you ended it. That conversation was the beginning of the end of our friendship. We haven't spoken in almost 10 years. My relationship is still strong, and I do not regret cutting ties with her. But every now and again, I do think about her, and I wonder if the friendship was ever as genuine as I thought it was. So, Choc, my question is, when someone shows you a side of them that changes how you see them forever, do you believe them? Or do you think people sometimes just say hurtful things in the heat of the moment? Was she ever really my friend? No, bitch. No. And you knew that when you wrote this fucking email. No, she was not your friend. She was never your fucking friend. No. Let's just answer that question. Because I know I like to go off on a tangent. No, she was not your friend. She wasn't your friend. And then what the fuck else was the other question? Because I'm getting... So, yes, people say things in the heat of the moment. We say things we don't mean. I've been guilty of that. Everybody is probably guilty of that. And I hate to get off on a tangent. I'm going to get back on track. But I tell my son that all the time. Like, I do take credibility for the broken home that his father and I created. Like, my mouth was slick. And I would say things that I didn't mean. And if I could do life over again, I would not have said certain things to my fiance that I did at the time because they were disrespectful and they were hurtful. And that is somebody that I truly loved and I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. So I shouldn't have been talking to him like that. It was trauma. It was triggers. It was toxicity, right? There are a lot of things that contributed to why I was saying things in the heat of the moment. But I said them. And I hate, especially that nigga. I hate to have to agree with niggas. Again, I think I said that earlier in the episode. But I can get it. If you say hurtful things, then like you really got to take note of that. And I will be 100% honest. When I said hurtful shit to him, I meant that shit, bitch. I wasn't lying. I remember one particular argument we had. Him and his mama didn't want me driving his new car. Y'all probably done heard this story before. Y'all gonna hear it a million more times, so get used to it. They didn't want me driving to the store to go get ground beef, and I felt like they was being funny to me. And I told y'all that in one of these episodes. They be blurring together now. But like where I've tried to shrink to fit in and have people accept me or whatever case, I don't like nobody making me feel like I'm the oddball out or like I need them or something. Because, bitch, I got a mama, a daddy, two grannies, aunties. Like, I got people that don't play about me. I got people that will step about me. So don't ever think I need you, bitch. I don't give a fuck who you are. Even if you are a family member, bitch, I don't need you. Okay? But anyways... they didn't want me driving the car. And so I remember telling him, like, I don't give a fuck about you not wanting to take me to the store. I know a nigga who would. And baby, I literally knew a nigga who would. Y'all gonna be like, bitch, that fucking apology or that what you just said was not a genuine. It's not about you feeling sorry, but you sitting over here licking your tongue out. I'm a Gemini. Two things can be true at one time. I should have never said that. But I digress. I bring that point up to tell y'all, like, no, I shouldn't have said it. I was wrong as fuck for saying that. But I really knew somebody that would have taken me to the store. And he did live across the street from the neighborhood. And he would come at the drop of a dime. To this day, right now, if I call him on the phone, he's coming and he's running, baby. Barefoot in Texas heat on the concrete. He running to me. So I said that to emphasize, like, yeah, she probably did say that shit in the heat of the moment. But bitch, do you know she meant that shit? She still think that to this day. She go to bed every night thinking, like, I could have had her nigga if I wanted to. And I could still take him. So yes, she probably did say that shit in the heat of the moment, but she meant it too. So which one is more important? Whether she was saying it in the heat of the moment or whether the authenticity is valid. Because she meant that shit. Y'all know why I chose that. My lip gloss left. Okay, anyways, I'm finna get the fuck out of here. I'm tired. Oh, I didn't even get this part. She said signed, still happily married. I know that's right, girl. You cut the friend off and you still happily married, period. We also have another new segment. I'm gonna get past this one really quick. It's called PSA. This is a pussy service announcement and is where I give you guys advice on how to step your cookies up so they don't crumble. Today's PSA is soak your period panties, soiled clothes, bedding, etc. in peroxide to get the blood out. And I feel like that tip was in alignment with Pillow Talk because we talked about a dream where I was on my menstrual cycle. But yeah, a lot of people don't be knowing that. You do not have to throw your sheets away. You don't got to throw your panties away. You don't have to throw your clothes away. If you do stain your clothes or anything with blood, just put some peroxide in it and just put some peroxide on it and that peroxide will get the blood out. Another thing that's really good for that is Awesome. Baby, you can't go wrong with Awesome and peroxide. That blood is going to come out. So please stop throwing your stuff away and also really stop feeling embarrassed. I've heard so many stories where women like started their cycles and they was like on a date and they stained a chair or they was like with a man and they stained his like his car. Like, a real man understand and he will never harm you or treat you bad because nature happened to you. And I'm pretty sure that even if you started your cycle in public, like most people would gently like tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, you got something on your behind. Like, I believe most people are genuine with that. It's really not a laugh and ha-ha embarrassing moment. So I really just kind of want to change the stigma around that. Stop being embarrassed when you start your cycle. That's a powerful thing. A cycle is the reason why every single one of us is living and breathing and we're brought into this world because a woman had the ability via a cycle to create life. They are very important to reproduction and society continuing. So they are not anything to be embarrassed about. But I just wanted to give y'all that little tip if you needed to clean up. There was something else I wanted to say, and it's not really coming to me right now. I'm going to give it a second. Cycles, cleaning up, using peroxide, getting the blood out. Oh, and y'all know one reason why I'm so passionate about that is because I was going, I had all white on at an event. One of my clients had gotten married and I was like partying with her the weekend and I had all white on. And the reason why I had all white on is because I hadn't had a cycle for like 3 months. And so I really thought I was pregnant and I was trying to turn up before I got a positive pregnancy test. Whole time I must have just been stressed because my period ended up coming while I was in all white. And not only was I in all white, bitch, I was twerking on live in all white pants. And everybody was like, get off, bitch, get off live. One of the people that I remember from the top of my head is Lisa Guzman. I told y'all, to know me, you had to know me during that Gym Pack era. Lisa had DM'd me and she was like, to my ladies who continuously go to work and push through, you're crying in the break room or you're running to the car, you're hiding in the bathroom, you hate your boss, your messy coworkers, You no longer have to push through burnout anymore. Sometimes the most productive thing that you can do is rest. The exit strategy helps you get approved for short-term disability so you can finally take the time you need to rest, to heal, and to pause, and go back to work stronger. Or not go back at all. It's your call. Make sure you visit waxfromonair.com/the exit strategy to start your short-term disability leave today so you can finally clock out. Lisa had DM'd me and she was like, girl, get off live, go to the bathroom. And I really, shout out to you, Lisa, for that. Thank you so much for being a girl's girl. I don't know if anybody took screenshots or whatever. If they did, they haven't surfaced. But by the time this drop and by the time, we Big Bang Hank and shit, they probably might surface. So I just say that with caution. Like, I don't know if anybody took screenshots, but if they did, fuck you and fuck your mama and fuck your daddy who was never in your life. But for real, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And I had to learn that the hard way. And one of the people that taught me to not be embarrassed about certain things was Kayla. My client, y'all seen her. I think Kayla is episode 4. Y'all seen her on episode 4. Kayla taught me, like, fuck am I being embarrassed for? I'm the coochie connoisseur, bitch. Shout out to Kayla. I love you. Oh my God, I pee so bad. All right, ouch mom. All right, ouch mom. Friends you should outgrow in 2026. 2, the passive aggressive joker. You know how you are always doing the most? Of course you would say that. That's so you, never satisfied. Every joke is a jab. Every laugh has a sting. And when you call it out, oh, I was just joking. You're so sensitive. But you leave every conversation feeling smaller. That's not friendship. That's disguised criticism. Outgrow them. Now, this is a whole thread. I'm going to link it in the comments. Y'all already know I love to give credit. I don't do that stealing, taking people credit shit. But anyways, I did put that in ouch bomb because for real, it took me a long time to learn that bitches was not my friend. And the girl who I was talking about who ended up befriending my baby daddy wife after she seen everything that girl did to me, she was like that. There was so many times, like I remember one time we was pregnant and we were school shopping for our kids. She was working at the post office, so she had a good job, good income. I was a waxer. Baby, I ain't got to prove it to nobody, but waxing kept my bag heavy, bitch. I don't want for nothing. And at the time, I was in a relationship with the tall nigga with the beard. That nigga paid 100% of the bills. If I'm with a nigga, the split is 100% zero. So don't ever come to me having a 50-50 conversation because, bitch, you gonna hate me. But anyways, I said all that to say my money was good. And I remember we was checking out and the lady asked me, she was like, do you want to apply for a credit card? And I was like, no, I don't want to apply for a credit card. This bitch gonna tell the lady like, oh, she wouldn't get approved. No way, it would decline. Excuse me? Mind you, it stung a little bit because at the time the bitch was right. Y'all should probably learn from that. For real, take this as a lesson. My credit was fucking trash. And I didn't pay attention to my credit because I had so much money coming in that I felt like credit was not important. That is the biggest myth. Do not ever fall for that shit. Credit is more important than money, bro. Credit is more important than anything because no matter how much money you got in your bank account, if your credit score is right, you can preserve that money in your bank account and you can use other people's money. I won't get off on that tangent, but it did strike a chord with me because why would you even tell? Mind you, I don't discuss my financial situation with nobody, not even my man. Nobody will ever know my financial situation. So, like, the fact that she said that just kind of struck a nerve in me because, like, bitch, why would you even think that my credit score is low? And then even if it was low, like, why would you sit here and tell a stranger and joke about it? That shit wasn't funny to me. And I went home, I talked to my man about it. And again, like I told y'all, he told me that bitch was not my friend and to stop hanging out with her. And that bitch was not my friend. So, for real, when bitches make them little slight, like them little jokes and jabs, she being for real. Just like in the ouch bomb. I mean, just like in the other segment. Just like in the advice segment. What the fuck is it called? Pause. Just like in, I don't know. Bitches be for real when they be telling them jokes. So handle that shit accordingly. Cut her bitch ass off. Don't even laugh with that bitch. Because I used to do that too. I used to like awkwardly laugh and try to search for a reason because I felt like I was defensive or sensitive. But no. I'm not finna a key with no bitch at all, period, about my life, about my money, about my finances, about my body, about anything. Whether I'm sensitive about it or not, I'm not finna kiki with you, bitch. Go kiki with Drake. Ask him, do Kiki love you, bitch? But you're not finna kiki over here. Fuck. Anyways, rebook. Okay, now it is time to rebook. As y'all know, rebooking is the most important part of your wax. It helps keep you consistent and it builds a stronger bond and relationship with your waxer. So I do ask that you rebook with me if you enjoyed the episode. If you got this far in the episode, make sure you rebook with me. Listen to another episode. Go get the extra strategy and support what I have going on. I did want to tell y'all about our live show. When it comes time, and it's almost time, the clock is ticking, we are going to do a live show. I literally just talked to Spider and Michael about this today, about recording the live show and getting those logistics together. When we do the live show, you guys are going to decide where we go. I'm going to pick the city where we have the most interactions, the most love, the most comments, the most listens, the most downloaded episodes. Like, that is where we going. I don't give a damn if it's out the country. That is where our first live show is going to be. So if you want us to come to your city, make sure that you're showing love. Make sure that you're interacting. Make sure that you're putting it in the comments. Because at first I was just like gonna go and do it in Dallas because that's home. But then my team wanted to stretch me a little bit, and they was like, no, like, let's commit to going to where we are the largest at. So whatever city that we're the largest in, Providence, whatever the hell it's called, because some township, whatever the hell it's called, because in some places they're called townships. Wherever we are the biggest at is where we are going to have the live show. So y'all better make sure that y'all interacting. And I might throw something that y'all Cash App and Zelle. Y'all know I love giving money away. Oh, you know what? Another thing for real though, I'm gonna do a competition, and not for real. For real, y'all really gonna get Cash App and Zelle for this. We need a name. I can't keep calling y'all. Ain't that disrespectful? I need to address y'all by a name. So with that being said, I want you guys to give me ideas of what y'all want to be called, like my audience. I wanted to go with the chocolate drops, because that's what I've been calling people who supported me. But Wax Room on Air is different. Like, it's separate from Choc myself, the brand, the personal brand. So if y'all have any good names that y'all want to be addressed by, please leave them in the comments or email me or DM me. And then the person who comes up with the name that we choose, I am going to personally Cash App or Zelle you $100. So, baby, please give me the names, give me the ideas, because I can't come up with that. It's been hard. Anyways, that has brought us to the end of our episode. I thank y'all so much for listening to me. Yep. And trauma dump on this episode. I thank you guys so much for being a listening ear on this episode. If you know this outro, I want you to say it with me. If you don't, you're probably new here. Welcome. Thank you for supporting. Learn the outro. I need y'all to learn the outro, because I have this vision where we shout it out loud at the end of every live show. Right? We in this big ass arena, thousands and thousands of people. And when I point to y'all, we gonna say it. So I need y'all to learn it. I might fuck around and heal. Are you coming? That's episode 11. We out of here. I gotta pee so fucking bad.